Hello, welcome to the Get Your Game Tight podcast. I'm your host, Galen Nickerson, and today we are honored and have a feel privileged to have the mayor here of Osceola, Arkansas, Mr. Joe Harris Jr. And it's a privilege and an honor for me to have him here, and I just want to introduce him and let him speak to you guys.
Yes, Skip, you introduced me as the mayor. I'm not only the mayor, I'm your first cousin. You left that part out. That's the most important part.
Yes, sir.
I'm the mayor of the city of Osceola, former state representative for this area, District 94, and I'm your proud mayor of this city. And I really am proud to see my cousin involved in this type of production.
Appreciate that. Well, today we just trying to shine the light on Mr. Harris here on some things that he's done through his life, which is amazing. I find very amazing. But I'm gonna lead it off with one of the questions that I want to ask him is what was more challenging for him? Because a lot of people may not know that he was also the state representative at one time. And I wanted to ask him what is more challenging for him, being a state representative or being a mayor at this time?
Well, the challenge is you're working for the people. And I'm working for the people here in the city of Osceola on a much smaller scale or smaller area. Working as a state representative, the area is much larger to cover, and from person to person, you got more time to think. But being mayor, people see you every day. They know you from being a product of this community. So I would say being the mayor of a city is more challenging than being a state representative.
I can see that. Dealing with the people on a daily basis, like you say, yeah, I can see that. So, for any of the younger generations, like somebody that's younger trying to possibly be a mayor or even a state representative looking for that in their future, what would you suggest, something they should do or can do?
Well, I know you have a program athletically called Get Your Game Tight.
Yes, sir.
In life, you still got to get your game tight. And in getting your game tight, you've got to be focused on what you want to do and do whatever you do with pride. And understanding where you want to get to from point A to point B. And along with that, you're getting your game tight because you know what you're focused on.
That's right. Okay. Well, one of the things that I just recently found out that I didn't even know is that a lot of these buildings down here downtown, you build them all basically, really, and you did it within a year's time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of your first projects, and I didn't know that, and I would like for you to speak on that a little bit, as far as how it went, the buildings, because you started out as a demolition,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get into politics, that's like starting in almost from the bottom. That's starting at the bottom there and building your way up.
Well, I'm very proud to speak on that. Our grandmother, Mama Adele, I borrowed $650 from her. Of that $650, just to tell you something about me, I borrowed $650 from Mama Adele and bought an old milk truck. And with my knowledge of working on equipment and all, I converted that milk truck into a dump truck. This was in 1974. And during that time, I started hauling dirt and gravel around the area. And then when this building burned on Sunday afternoon, the property owner was Dane Fergus. I asked him if I could clean it up or if I could finish demolishing the building. And he found out that I had building knowledge, so then he gave me the contract of building the building back, this building that we're sitting in right here this morning. That's why I asked you, you don't see any cracks in these walls? You said no. I said, that's why, because I built it. I made sure it was built right. This was my first major contract, the building we're sitting in here in downtown Osceola.
That's something to speak with. That's some history there. Yeah. So also, I understand that you have a car show that you do here sometimes, and I wanted to know like what inspired the car show.
Well, my son Keith, who is going on, he and I, we love cars. He grew up in cars. I grew up in cars. So we like cars. We like fast cars. We like pretty cars. We like old cars. We just like cars.
Yeah.
And so he and I decided we would start doing a car show for the people here in Osceola to get them some entertainment, and especially the little ones,
Yeah.
the little kids who had never seen an old antique car. And so that's how the car show got started. And after Keith passed away, I decided to keep it going, and whatever money is raised in the car show, we give a scholarship to a high school student every year.
That's awesome.
And so we put back enough money now from the car show to carry the scholarship for the next 18, 20 years now.
That's awesome.
And it's all in my son's Keith name. Your first cousin, your second
amazing.
cousin then.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So when is the car show is coming up soon?
The car show is October 18th.
October 18th.
It's the third Saturday in October. This is the 12th year, I believe it is. It's the 12th year. And the car show is the largest and the best car show in Northeast Arkansas. We have over 200 cars right here on Main Street.
That's some top of the line, top tier.
Top of the line cars. Yeah, people
I've
that,
seen.
I mean, you go from a $200 car all the way up to a $300,000 car.
Yeah.
We have all types of cars here in the car show.
Yeah.
And they come here to support Keith and I, because we went all over the country. We went all the way up to Indiana, Ohio, just visiting car shows.
Yeah.
That was our pastime. We didn't hunt, we don't fish. You know, we like cars, you know, drag racing, anything to do with cars. We like speed, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I learned to ride a motorcycle from, watching and riding with Keith, man.
Yeah.
You know, that was my thing. But so for the future of Osceola, like, where do you see Osceola going? You know, like with the future of Osceola, the community.
This community in Osceola will be rebuilt. My plan is to totally rebuild Osceola. The property over on the east side of town. Okay, we have all the infrastructure in over there. It looked like a bunch of vacant lots at this time. Next year, this time, we will come up with a program where we can practically give those lots away 2 at a time. No person can get but 2 lots that's joined together. That way, an individual won't come in and say, I'll take them all and not do anything. But now, in giving you those lots, you must have a home going up that will meet specifications inside of a year. So that's my plan for rebuilding the east side of town. Now, as far as the remainder part of Osceola, the west side of town, we're going to continue to work on restaurants, stores. We're building a $20+ million water park as we speak today. And that's something unheard of. We've tried it before. It didn't happen. But I was blessed that we could raise the money and get it done. We figured out a plan to get it done. We passed a 1 cent sales tax. People don't vote for taxes, but the people in Osceola showed me that they wanted something to do. They voted by 74%. That's unheard of. To put a tax on yourself at 74% margin. You know, it's only a penny. You know where I got the penny from? My little niece was in my office one day looking, she's nosy, and she said, Uncle Joe said, this ain't but a penny. And I had t-shirts made, says just a penny. Okay? And that's where that concept came from. This little kid out at the ballpark, I think Bill Fountain brought this back to the meeting. He said if kids were saying, I want to swim, we had t-shirts made, I want to swim. So all of that, we used that in part of the campaign to raise a 1 cent sales tax for the citizens of Osceola to build a water park, and not only to build a water park, but to redo all of the parks in Osceola. Just yesterday, we dedicated the Rosenwald Community Center to Howard McNeil. His name will go in that building. That's something that's unheard of in Osceola. people that look like us with a name on a building.
Yeah.
So Osceola's on the move. And as far as the job situation go, 2 weeks ago, we had a work conference over at Pilgrim Rest Baptist Church. People from High Bar came in to show them what to expect on applications, how to prepare for that application. They might not get hired at High Bar or Big River, but they'll be ready to go to any of the steel mills in the area. You know, why do we have all of these billion-dollar industries coming in here and people coming in from outside working and going back to the outside? So my mission is to make sure that we get our fair share here in Osceola. All of that is part of rebuilding Osceola.
Yes, that's awesome. That sounds like a real secure future, and especially for the younger generations. But like from day to day, what is your day-to-day task like? You know, around the city, making sure things are working proper and polices are in position.
Mm-hmm.
You have what would you say your relationship with the community is?
Well, my relationship to the community is, I won by 76% of the vote. That was unheard of. So I have a great relationship with the community. I was born and raised right here in Osceola. You know, and I could have been in New York, Washington, D.C. Matter of fact, I was offered several positions in Washington, D.C., but I stayed here in Osceola. So I think I have a great relationship with the people. One thing I won't do, I won't lie to them. Sometimes they don't want to hear it, but you know, I just shoot it to you straight and say, hey, we can't do that, or we can do that, or I'll help you with it. But one thing I will do with anybody in this community, if I don't have the answer, we just have to find out together. And that's the way I feel about keeping a relationship with people. Be real, and what's your slogan? Keep your game tight. That way you don't have to lie to nobody. You just shoot it straight with them.
Mm-hmm. So, like for this area and this community, you are one of the first that look like us to become mayor, and that within itself is a milestone. But you was already a pillar in the community. Mm-hmm. What would you say is next, like for you?
Well, I plan on running for mayor one more term, and then I want to pass it on to someone in your age group because I would like next year for some young person or a couple of young people to kind of mirror me and see what's going on. You know, don't just do it just because of the title that it carries. Do it because you care about the community. And I gave up. I won't put a number on it, but I gave up a lot of money to do this. In other words, this job pays, I don't know what it pays. I don't even look at my check, but I don't know what it pays, but I gave up about 3 times what I'm working here to do this. Mm-hmm. And so I gave up that much money to do it. So I'm gonna do the best job I can at it because I put that figure on it. You know, the money that I'm not making that I could be making. So I'm gonna do the best I can with it.
That's awesome. You've always been an awesome person to me though. I always looked up to you, Joe. A lot of people don't know. I seen you one time riding on the handlebars, standing up.
On a motorcycle, yeah, you do all that crazy stuff. Yeah, I did all that kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah. I thought the world of that. I thought, man, Evel Knievel, you know, ain't got Evel Knievel in person, man, you know.
I'll never forget I was riding my motorcycle to Memphis down the interstate, and I could lay down and just ride it, no hands, and just lean it. And I passed the car, they looked at it. It was crazy. It was crazy. That lady, she looked over at me, and they tried to keep up with me. I just leaned it all the way until I got in traffic, though. Naturally, you're going to put your hands on the handlebar then.
Hey, but to ride like that, you taught yourself? You thought you just did it?
Yeah, you teach yourself to do things like that. You know, it's kind of like walking. Mm-hmm. Someone stand you up. Mm-hmm. If they leave you standing up long enough, you're going to walk. Mm-hmm. And then running, you know you want to go faster, so you run. So that's kind of like riding a motorcycle, driving a race car. All that just comes to you.
Yeah, that'll work. All right, that's what it's like, getting your game tight. Start from one point and you learn what it is you're trying to learn, tighten your game up in it, and become the best at it. That's getting your game tight. Welcome back, Get Your Game Tight. This is Galen Nickerson again, your host. And I'm still here with the mayor here, Mr. Joe Harris, telling us some extraordinary, amazing things about himself. For me personally, that I didn't even know. But for one thing, like we were saying earlier about, this is one of the buildings that his hands helped construct. And I just find that amazing. And it's from the 70s. So as a example of getting your game tight, there's no better example to me than a person like him. But can you explain to the people, like, just a little bit of what it took to get your game tight, how you got your game tight along the way? Like, especially now, like, one thing that this has nothing to do with anything, but like the one story you just told us about how you started with from Mama Adele with the turn the truck into the, that's just so amazing to me. It's just like, I'm just like, wow.
Well, you know, in getting my game tight, I dropped out of college. You probably heard the whole family talking about it. I just dropped out of college. But I just felt that I could get my game tight and move much faster. But the first couple of years, I didn't want to stay with my mother. I had gotten married. I had a kid when I was in high school. When I came out of college to take care of my kids. And you know, Emory and Keith was very well taken care of.
Very well, yeah.
And so, but what really, really made me get my game tight was I was living over on Shipping Street in a three-room house. And I got up at 2:30 in the morning to dry the baby, and he was froze to the sheet. And that made me then, that was in February of that year, I never will forget it. I got up to drive my baby that morning because I didn't want my wife getting up in a cold house, and he was froze to that sheet. And I promised myself and the good Lord, if you bring me out of this, I'm going to do my part. That's why I'm so close to it in the church. Because I've been there, I've done that. And from that point forward, I knew I had to get my game tight.
That's amazing. And so, like you said, yeah, Keith and Emory were well taken care of, and about them cars. See, Keith, I remember young when he used to have them get them cars. We've always been into them cars and speed and motorcycles.
Yeah.
And obviously he got that from you, but yeah, we used to watch you. And but you ain't never been a worker on cars, like
Yeah, I used to build race. Well, I was probably one of the best mechanics in this area to make cars run fast. He has to come everywhere for me to tune the car or change things out on it for him, yeah. And all that was part of me making sure that my family was going to be taken care of after that bad winter I had. Mm-hmm. And so I put myself on with anybody as far as tuning a car and racing a car, you know. So that was all part of getting that game tight, you know.
Yeah.
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 Let me tell you another story. When I dropped out of college, my mom and the whole family disappointed me. You know what my punishment was? I had to go on the road with Albert King as his road manager. I went all over the world. I said, yeah, okay, go and punish me then. I went all over the world. 19 years old, and I'm the road manager for a world-known musician, you know. And so I said, it's a piece of cake to me, you know.
See, I remember him being a friend of yours, coming to Osceola visit.
Yeah, he and my dad, they were just like brothers. And so they gonna punish me and you gonna go on the road and you gonna work. That's okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty good punishment. Probably learned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but another thing I wanted to bring up is one time I was sitting up there talking with you one time, and you said, "Yeah, I heard how you were shooting lights out at the camp."
I was state representative then, and this other state representative named Tracy Steele, he was a star player down at Rice, had been. And so we was having breakfast that morning. And he came in, he said, "Hey man, this dude from Osceola, Arkansas, somewhere in Arkansas. So he been shooting for 2 days and ain't missed a shot." I said, "Shooting what?" "Shooting basketball, and the Atlanta Hawks drafted him." I think it was Atlanta Hawks.
Yep, exactly.
I said, "Man, that's my cousin." He said, "What?" "That's my cousin."
Yeah.
And during that same time, Cortez, my son, had just gotten drafted to the NFL. He said, "Man, what are y'all doing over there in Osceola?" Yeah, they couldn't believe that you was my cousin. Yeah.
See, I remember I got to meet Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And I was shaking Bill's hand when he came around, and it was on the tip of. I wanted to tell him that I knew you so bad. I wanted to tell him that, but I didn't want to. I don't know. I probably would have made the NBA longer if I would have told him that I knew you. Bill would have said, "Hey, this my friend's friend. They get him in here." Bill
Clinton and I are personal friends. We've been friends since 1978. And when I say personal friends, I mean we've done things together. You know, we've done things together. I can't, you know.
Yeah.
And we still keep in touch. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's big. Well, like I can't say it enough how much appreciate you coming and doing this, and giving us the opportunity to learn some things that we didn't even know about you. I'm sure a lot of other people didn't know. And anything in the future that we can help you with, we'll be more than willing to help you with it. And hopefully for like you say, you running again, so hopefully we'll be able to reach some people, help you reach out and reach some people whenever the time is necessary. But
I plan on running again, but also I want to do whatever I can to help you all in these efforts that you're doing. I love what you're doing here. This facility here is I've been in all types of studios, and this one is as nice as any of them to me. Just don't have the pictures on the wall, but I mean as far as the atmosphere here. And so I think that you all going to go a long way with this. And if I can help in any way, because you're doing a good service here, and I love what you're saying, get your game tight. Young people, get your game tight.
That'll work. Well, thank you for tuning in with another episode of Get Your Game Tight, and I hope I see you guys in the future and continue to follow us. Thank you.